Jordan's King Abdullah has stood against the extremist movement Islamic State from the start, but the Hashemite Kingdom's 6.5 million people are divided. The execution by fire of a captured Jordanian Air Force pilot rallied more to the government position. It bolstered the country's participation in the US-led military coalition against the ISIL jihadists, but it's still politically challenging. The pro-Western reformist Abdullah vowed to avenge the death of the pilot, a member of a large tribe that forms the backbone of support for the monarchy. However, among its people, Jordan also harbors support for the Islamists. Graffiti in the town of Mouath, around 240 kilometers south of the capital Amman, bears this out, as does the portrait of Osama Kraishan, a Jordanian killed in Syria last month. Anti-Western radical Islamism in Jordan predates the regional rise of ISIL. Support for the Syrian revolution against its president Bashar al-Assad is reported to have prompted some 300 young men from Ma'an to go and fight. Former jihadist Umar Mansour, who fought with al-Qaeda in Syria, the forerunner of ISIL, said, "I joined the jihad there in 2013 with the Nusra Front against the regime forces, but came back to Jordan because of illness." Another former jihadist, who keeps his identity a secret, said, "What happened in Syria has made our hearts bleed. I joined the jihad for the sake of Allah, to make Allah's word supreme." Around 2,000 Jordanians are thought to be fighting in ISIL's ranks. Galvanized by the pilot's execution, the government can fight in the coalition against it more publicly now, along with Bahrain, Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates. But the Salafist dissent in Jordan also undermines domestic reform efforts. The need for reform was drawn into sharp focus with the uprisings in 2011 in several Arab countries, this analyst underscores. Hassan Abu Haniyeh, an expert on Islamic movements, said, "There are deep problems in Jordan, economic, political and social. If these problems aren't solved, it will create more hotbeds for ISIL. The number joining is growing. Before the Arab Spring, there were no more than 4,000 jihadis. Now we are talking about 9,000. King Abdullah said that moderate Muslims must fight a group whose ideology and brutality insult Islam, but many Jordanians are not convinced. A former minister said the government was walking a tightrope.